Waves Platform is a decentralized platform with loads of real-world solutions running on blockchain. Wavesnode.net is providing a professional node on the Waves platform, hosted in our own data center. If you are holding Waves tokens, you can lend them with the LPOS system to our big node. The leased tokens are always in your account and under your control. It is like leasing staking power. By leasing on our powerful, stable and trustful node, you are generating transfer fees and will be rewarded with Waves. The bigger our node's balance, the higher your rewards. Wavesnode.net can help you achieve increasing your stack and making the Waves platform stronger in just a few easy steps. So please, open your Waves Lite client and lease your tokens at wavesnode.net. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter at wavesnode.net.
All right, good morning and welcome to Core Radio. This is Lutz on a Sunday morning, and it's a little early, I know. Normally I'm a little later, uh, but I have somebody from across the world that is here today, and I think you all know him. His name is Sasha. Welcome, Sasha.
Hi, everybody.
And you know, we've been waiting and waiting on full nodes here, and patiently. Those of us like me that are very patient, and are happy to wait. We know that if we wait longer, the more bugs are going to get worked out, the less possibilities of exploits to happen. Which one little exploit could damage the whole building, right? So, uh, I know you've been doing a lot of I think they call it a hackathon, right?
Yeah, right.
How's that going?
It's going pretty well. I think some people are really active, and we have found several bugs with their help, and we are eliminating them and squashing them. So I think it's fine. Okay, we might have started it a little bit too early. We could have done some stress test on our own, but it's okay because some people started looking for bugs, and I just decided to move on with a hackathon, and it's helpful. The most active guy is BC Dev. He found several major issues, and okay, not all of them are major issues, but they're pretty big. Yeah, some
Right.
things are big. So we fixed it, and the network now is much more stable. So hackathon is a great thing for stress test, and community testing is great because you in peer-to-peer software you can do some unit tests, you can create some test environment, but when you launch the mainnet, some bugs are going to be found anyway. So community
Right.
testing is the way to go here. So we are glad that we announced the hackathon, and it's going pretty well, and we are actually glad that we have this thing and that we can receive feedback from the community. So probably it's gonna last for some time more, and we are gonna also add assets on Monday. And
Oh.
yeah, so we'll test the assets because we have the code. So why wait? We'll have the assets on testnet. We'll test it out, and then we release the full nodes together with the assets. So I
Oh,
think that
is
will
the
be better.
assets like tokens?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, custom tokens creation and transfer, and some other features, but probably not centralized matching. That should come later because we'll need more tests for this. But creation and transfer is gonna be there, and also attachments to transactions. So you'll be able, for example, to accept payments easily at a website. So just you generate a different attachment, a different field in your transaction with transaction identifier, and you can accept payments at merchant websites like this. So we'll have attachments, we'll have assets creation and assets transfer on testnet on Monday, because code is there. It's in our GitHub, so we just have to commit it to the testnet and start testing it too. Also,
Oh,
we'll read
very
out.
exciting.
Yeah. So because we wanted to release the full nodes without the assets, but peer-to-peer protocol it turned out to be a little bit more complicated, so we needed more time to find all the bugs. So at the same time, we coded the tokens. So now we have the tokens, and we should better add them to the testnet and then release it all together.
Very, very cool. So if you didn't release it with assets, the main feature would be the L pass, right? The fact that people could lease their coins on large servers. And
Yeah.
so how does the L pass work again? Is there
Yeah. Yeah, let me explain. It's a very simple idea. Probably it will be tweaked along the way, but generally it's a very simple thing. You combine the pass from BitShares with balance leasing from NXT. So in BitShares, you have to vote for the miners. Nodes vote for the miners, and then the miners can do the transactions confirmations. In our case, we want to make users vote with their money, yeah, so to say. So they just lease their balance to the mining nodes, and through this they can vote effectively for the forgers, and the forgers secure the network. So just some kind of combination of leasing and delegated posts from BitShares. So I think it's a novel idea, more or less. It's a combination of some ideas that were tested, and I think would work pretty well in our case.
you guys have you guys been testing that too in the
Not
hackathon?
yet, not yet. No, because at the moment, no. So it's gonna be the next release, the next major release, because we have to iron out several things there with account leasing and stuff like that. We'll have to have a special transaction for account leasing, and we'll have to create it. But the general idea will be this: so you just limit the mining nodes, and thus you're able to achieve high throughput, very fast transactions. And our goal is to have like transactions in the range of like, I don't know, about 1,000 transactions per second or so.
Wow.
So for this you need to have a pretty decentralized system. Yeah, so you can't have it on like very distributed blockchain. So you need to select the miners, and you can do it in some distributed way. But the miners are like chosen, and they're like 100 of them, not more. And in this case, you're able to have really high throughput, because this system becomes pretty much centralized in this respect, because you know which nodes are going to mine the blocks. So but you select those nodes, you pick those nodes up using the whole network. So it's like combination of both approaches, just best of the two worlds. So
Did I
yeah.
hear right? That there's only gonna be 100.
Yeah, probably yes, some limited number, around 100, yeah. Because in this case, you'll be able to have really fast transactions.
If if one server gets really popular, right? And everybody decides to mine on this one server. Would that disrupt the network in any way? Cause any problems? You know, like maybe a 51% or something along those lines.
Yeah, probably. There's just this thing when It's like more or less like what happens in Bitcoin when mining pools don't want to have like the majority of all the hashing power, and miners stop sending their hashes to those mining pools. In our case, people shouldn't want to lease their forging power to those nodes because it can disrupt the network. And of course, there will be like hard-coded checks in place which will prevent these types of attacks. But I think that they are not really feasible, those attacks, because if people start leasing their balance to one node, they jeopardize the whole network, and they realize that. So there is some trade-off between like desire of users to make some money and understanding that they can just hurt the network by sending all their tokens to one node. So it's more or less like in Bitcoin, but we'll have also some like checks in place. So the nodes can't really have like 51% of all the hashing power, all the mining power.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or maybe even you and your team could have a backup just in case. You know,
Sure,
co-
we're gonna
co-
have some. Yeah.
come
I
out with
will
your
like.
own server, so that just in case somebody tries to do something like this, you'll just put up a
Mm-hmm.
better one with a better offer.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're gonna have some like checkpointing at the beginning, like something like in Coin, because I want to make sure that our network doesn't get broken. So we'll have some like centralized checkpointing at launch,
I,
and then
yeah,
we'll just, yeah.
also, I personally think even
Mm-hmm.
if somebody tried doing this, they're gonna need a pretty big, stable server, and
Sure,
that's
yeah.
that's hard to find.
Yeah.
You
And
got thousands of people on one. I don't think that's it. It's not going to be sustainable. They're going to run
sure,
out of
and you
resources
can, yeah,
somewhere.
and you can always withdraw your lease. So you just, you take your money back. You can see that this particular node has too much forging power, and you just take your stake back from the node. So people who are watching the network, they understand that something goes wrong, and they just take their money back. So it's a dynamical system. Of course, there can be some attacks here, but they're like pretty mild, I think.
I
And we'll have
remember.
some checks. Yeah.
I
Yep.
remember that option in NXT. So how does that work when you lease to a node? How do you do that? Is that done through the wallet?
Yeah, there's some like special transaction for this. You just select the node and you do some leasing, and you lease it for some period of time, for example, for 24 hours or like more, and we will have another transaction that can just take the money back before the end of the term. So through this, we'll be able to control the miners better. So if a miner is doing something bad, the nodes just take their money back.
It sounds like a cool feature. So we have tokens coming out soon on the release of the full nodes, and then we're gonna
Yeah,
have the L pass after that.
yeah, sure. At the beginning, now we'll have like more or less what NXT has, like completely open network where everybody can mine, and then we'll build El Paso on top of that.
So, tell me about this new peer database internal buffer. What does it improve if launched with the nodes? If you decide to
Yeah,
launch it
yeah.
with full nodes.
Yeah. With peer data, there was some problem in Scorex because Scorex was not a production-ready system. It's more or less like a test system, and peer all network layer is pretty basic there. And with peers, you could just push some fake peers to a node and completely flood it with those fake peers. So node just tries to connect to them, and you push more data, and node just goes down. So we made some buffer when you just check all the peers first, and only then you put them into the database. They just stay in memory. Yeah, and only after you check them, you put them in the database. So, and if there is like too many bad peers from some node, you just blacklist it. So
Oh,
it's
very
it's a
nice.
necessary feature, yeah, because otherwise it wouldn't work. And because we probably are inventing the wheel here, because in many system in Bitcoin something like this exists, but you should take into account that it's a totally new code base and you have to redo some stuff like from scratch, even
Right.
solving the problems that were solved in some existing production systems. But we'll have to do that anyway, guys, because otherwise we won't have a robust system. So we have to make sure that we eliminated all the bugs.
Right. And if hey guys out there, if you wanna help test this on the on the test net before it comes out, where could they do that, Sasha? Where could all the hackers out there come and help you
Yeah,
hack
just
the
join our
technology
Slack
before it comes out?
channel. Yeah, testnet maintainers channel, where all the cool guys hang. So, and they're all there. You'll find all the instructions for the hackathon, and there are many manuals there for the node installation, for working with Scala, for working with Eclipse, and for maybe tweaking some code even. Yeah, so just join our Slack and find testnet maintainers channel there, and you'll find all the necessary information.
Cool. And for incentive,
Yeah.
what kind of what are the bounties like if they find or fix a big problem or little problem? How do the
Yeah, so
bounties work?
major issues go for 5,000 and above. So it's like 5,000 waves up to probably 15. It depends on the severity of the problem. So we paid several 5,000 bounties already, and if need be, we'll pay again. So it's 5,000 waves. So like basic bounty for like major issue, and it can be increased. 5,000 waves is like around $1,000 at the moment. So it's okay. I mean, it's quite interesting. And some people, for example, BBC Dev was really effective in finding bugs, so he received several bounties. And I think if you're like really want to help us, you can find something too. So it pays off. I think it's a nice thing. You can get around $1,000 per one bug.
Wow. See that, guy? So if you're out there, you know Linux very well, and you could build yourself a node, and you're good at playing around with things, jumping into the code, maybe uh, overflowing some buffers, see how it handles it, or maybe throwing monkey wrenches out there just to see how it works. Uh, get involved, get in here, and you know, maybe you make a few bucks. Who knows? You might be a star.
Absolutely, yeah, cool. Yeah.
That's the guy that fixed the nodes. That you could be like you're one of the guys. BC Dev is already a star.
Yeah, and actually BCDF is gonna work with us on like permanent basis. So after we finish the testing, we're gonna offer him like salary. So because he's a very effective and resourceful guy, so we would be happy to work with him. So
Awesome. That's awesome.
yeah.
So, I heard something about the wallets moving to a different type of GUI, something known as Angular JS instead of jQuery, which is
Yeah,
JavaScript
exactly.
querying, right?
Yeah, so we are working with a German company, Tom's Apps, who will be developing the mobile applications for us. And to make some easy export of our code, we need to transfer to Angular. So if it's transferred to Angular, you can just release it on iOS and on Android at the same time. So you don't need to you don't need to make native applications for iOS, for example. So you just release the code. It can even work on desktop. So it's pretty nice, and I think at this stage we don't need a native app for all the platforms. We can just make some framework based application, and it's fine. We are testing already. I have Waves wallet on my phone. It looks nice, and I think we'll release it within a couple of weeks, and you'll be able to,
Oh,
as soon as we have the nodes, we release also the mobile wallet, and you'll be able to transfer waves and assets and fiat assets. So it's gonna be cool.
that's really exciting. I mean, it's
I hope
exciting for
so.
me. I have an Android phone.
Yeah, I have the app, so you can just it's installed. You can ask for you can ask in some channel on Slack. You can ask me, and I'll add you to the testers list, and you can install it.
Oh yeah, man. I got the Turbo too. It's a pretty expensive phone, pretty badass.
Cool.
I work for Verizon, so I got to test those things for Verizon also. But so is it all versions of Android? I mean, if you had an older version, would it work, or is this
No, it
still part
should
of
it
testing?
should it should work. Yeah, but because it's all framework based, so it depends on the framework, and I think it makes sure that it works on as many Android versions as possible. So it should work, yeah. And at the same time, it works on iOS, and actually it can even work on desktop. We haven't done it yet, but it's possible. So we could have like a application for desktop on top of our Chrome plugin. We can have a proper desktop application. That could be also pretty nice.
Cool. Is it so? Do you envision other types of mobile features just for the mobile wallet?
Yeah, I think that
Maybe
fiat
like
transfer, yeah.
an
Hmm.
encrypted chat. Where you
Yeah,
could chat from mobile
messaging.
to mobile.
Yeah, sure. We're gonna start doing messaging. Where a new coder is gonna join us next week, so probably he'll start working on messaging, and we'll integrate this messaging into the mobile application. So mobile wallet will be mainly for fiat transfer and chats probably, and also you'll be able to do some stuff with assets like issue and stuff like this. Probably you won't be able to trade it, at least initially, because it's quite complicated, like GUI wise. But you'll be able to transfer like dollars, euros on blockchain, and you'll be able to maintain some secure communication to your friends. So it can be a useful wallet.
Nice. That's really exciting. A lot of cool things coming. I'm very patient. All the people in crypto.
Thank you.
You know,
Yeah.
the people in crypto that have been here a long time, like me. I didn't realize how long I've been here. I've been here a long time, and you see all these guys, trying to trade every day. You know, uh, you know, it's not going up. I gotta sell. I gotta buy. And
Yeah.
for us that have been here a long time, you know it's not an overnight thing. It's never an overnight thing. You hold it and you live on. And you
Yeah.
know eventually one day it's gonna work. And that goes with every coin has its day, right? I think every single coin has its day. So all these investors that think that they're gonna make, you know, thousands of dollars or millions of dollars overnight, that's never gonna happen, man.
Sure, it's too early, guys. I mean, we started in April. We started at ICO in April, so we exist like half a year actually, even less. So because ICO was over in June and we are here in September, it's 3 months. So probably it's a little bit too premature to really hope for some like huge pump of waves tokens. So have a
Yeah,
little
I
patience.
mean,
Yeah.
people gotta relax. They gotta
Yeah,
hang
yeah,
on.
sure.
They gotta relax, live their lives, enjoy when something new comes out. I don't, I they seem like there's so much fire in their pants lately. I'm
Yeah.
happy to hear updates every once in a while. There's some
Oh, but
coins
what?
that people invest in that don't even have developers.
Yeah, we should move fast, of course, because it's also important. If we lose dynamics, it's gonna be bad for the general development. But at the same time, we have to find some balance between
Yeah,
the
people gotta
speed
be
of our coding and the security of the network. Because if
people
you
gotta be
try to,
patient.
yeah, if you
It's
try to release
important. I
some
mean,
shit, yeah, yeah,
you can't rush the code onto the market. You can't do that. It's that because somebody out there, a hacker that didn't attend the hackathon, could probably break it. And you don't want that to
sure,
happen. And
sure.
then everybody's then bad things happen from there. So definitely don't want to rush anything. Uh,
Yeah,
we have a
because
lot of good things
if the
coming though.
network gets broken, we are guys are fucked. It's gonna be bad for We can fix this. Sure, okay, it's fixable. Yeah, you have to realize that at this stage everything is fixable,
Right.
but it's gonna be bad for our image. So you'd better not have this. So
Yeah.
for this we
I mean,
have to move. Yeah, yeah.
honestly, I personally like the price staying low because it gives me, I'm not a rich guy, but it gives me time to buy a little bit every once in a while. I got a little extra on my paycheck, I buy a little bit. So it's actually a nice thing. Like I don't want the price to rise very fast. Not yet.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
want to be able
absolutely.
to get some.
Yeah, yeah.
And everybody out there, I'm sure, is like me. No one's got that much that they could go all in. You know, and no one's selling their houses anytime soon.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of good things coming. There was that ICO that just launched. That's kind of associated with Waves, Incent.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I know the people. They're very experienced people, and I wish them well. And they are having a very successful ICO, I think. So it's pretty
What
good. Yeah.
what's Incent about? Is that going to be? It sounds like it's going to be a great feature because it's some type of incentive program, right?
Yeah, yeah, it's a loyalty token actually. And I like the idea because this is the idea from Rob, who is the Incent founder, and he just invented this project to make some loyalty token for merchants. And it's pretty simple actually. You just have this loyalty token and you reward your users with this token. It's a pretty simple thing because I've seen several attempts to realize loyalty programs on blockchain and they all failed. They just were probably too complicated. And this one is pretty simple and straightforward thing. You just issue the loyalty token, and when a customer buys something, he receives automatically this token. And this token gets bought from open market as soon as a user makes a transaction. And so there is some buy pressure and on the open market for this. And through this, there is some dynamics, and the price should probably go up for the token. And it's a nice, simple structure, and I think that it should and it could really work actually. This approach with simple loyalty tokens can work, and we can have this loyalty cryptocurrency actually, and it can become really huge. And on top of that, Rob has some good connections in Australia. He signed up several merchants already, and he had some commitments from merchants. So several shops are going to be issuing the tokens to users. So I think that we have a very good ICO here, and it's going to be a real product. So I personally invested 20 bitcoins, and I hope that it was a good investment.
Oh, you know what? I I that's really nice of you. I unfortunately I put a lot less than that, but I think honestly it's a really good idea only because it gets normal people involved without them even knowing. Uh, People
Yeah,
that own little
absolutely.
businesses, people that own big businesses, they could implement this program that he has with no cost to them, and it'll get people involved in crypto without them even knowing, and it'll get them repeat customers, and it's a really, I personally know about these type of schemes out there, where you got the whole punching card, you got to buy the cards, you got to buy the pamphlets, and then the other service actually charges you also, to implement their you know uh, program. So this is free. I mean, I've owned the bakery. I know. I
Yeah,
think that
yeah.
this could catch fire, honestly, if
It
people
should.
could
It
sell it
should.
right.
I like the simplicity and like it's a very direct approach, and people don't really need to know how it works. They don't need to know about the blockchain. There's gonna be some mobile application with tokens. It's gonna be on blockchain, but no one should know what is under the hood. So it's just like a normal mobile app, and you just receive those tokens. And I think it's very like natural and people are accustomed to this. So I think that it's an interesting thing and it should really pick up steam.
All right. Well, there's one thing that you said on a previous interview that kind of left people hanging. What is Chronobank?
Chronobank is another Australian project. It's like I I understand the general idea, but I'm not like able to talk about the details because I have to also make sure that I understand everything correctly. But Chronobank is a time bank, and time bank is the time banks. They exist, and you have like dozens of time banks in Australia, for example, and in other countries too. This is a service which allows you to swap working hours. For example, you do something for your neighbor, and your neighbor is doing something for you, something like this. And Chronobank wants to issue some kind of tokens which will be used for buying working hours. So you have like some standard freelancer jobs, and you'll be able to buy them with those tokens. So it's a
Uh,
nice approach, and I think that they have a really good backing in Australia. They are backed by some venture funds. You should actually ask them if they can name them at the stage, but I know this. Yeah, there are really they have very good backing from some venture funds in Australia, and
gotcha.
yeah, they're experienced guys with funds with some expertise and clear understanding of the market. And you should ask them how exactly gonna work, and when time is right I'll be able to tell you more about this because I wanna look into it also a little bit deeper. So
Yeah, that sounds
yeah.
very complex.
Yeah, it's pretty complex actually. The general idea, you buy with those tokens working hours, and you can trade working hours with those tokens. And what I want to say here that we are creating the infrastructure and we'll be creating the tokens, and actually I'm like curious to know how it works, but actually I don't have to know how it works because we're working on the infrastructure and people can use those tokens for all kinds of projects. So
Right.
you
Star
better ask
architect.
them. But of course in this case, because I'm talking to the team, and in this case I'll be able to tell you more when time is right.
Cool. I was thinking it was like some type of bank, But speaking of banks,
No, no, it's
have
not a bank. It's like time bank. Yeah, time banks exist, and there are like dozens of them. I didn't know that actually
yeah, me neither.
about those. Yeah, but they exist. They exist, and you can check them out. They exist in Australia. You have like dozens of them working. Like people use them.
Ah, that's cool. It's cool.
Yeah.
How many fiat gateways do you think will be working with Waves? Is it just gonna be one? Are you
Uh,
gonna have multiple?
No, probably more. Probably at the beginning we'll have one or two, and but we have like several gateways lined up at this stage, and probably we'll activate them one by one. And we're also working on like our own payment infrastructure, just in case some backup infrastructure. So we checked UK out, and probably will do it in not in UK because it's pretty expensive, and there are some ways to do it in other European countries. So it's gonna be more cost effective, and we'll have our own backup fiat gateway. But at the same time, we have some reputable payment systems who already committed to working with us, and they provide basic infrastructure as soon as we have our tokens. So soon, guys, because at the beginning of the next week we'll have the tokens on testnet. That's like guaranteed because you can check our GitHub out and you'll be able to see the assets code there. So what we need to do now is to release it to the testnet and do some testing. And after that, we'll be able to release it on the mainnet and finally release the full node code.
Cool. All right. Well, but I have some questions.
Yeah.
Not many questions because I didn't do much promoting for this show. It was more of a you know more of a on the spot thing, and we did it a little
Uh-huh.
earlier than I actually promoted. So I'm just gonna replay it for people at 12 o'clock. But I have a few questions that came in during the time I was promoting.
Uh-huh.
We have Ripto, and Ripto, he says we've heard a bunch about Incent, but there hasn't been much information about this. Will it be hosted in Waves? Is it a feature? What exactly is it?
Yeah, no,
When can we
I just
expect?
want to, yeah, yeah, understand the question. Because you have to realize that we are providing the infrastructure, we are providing the tokens, and Incent is gonna use our tokens. So it's just gonna use our tokens functionality for their loyalty tokens. So effectively, their token will be a token on Waves blockchain, and they can do whatever they want. Uh, and actually, if our API allows to do some features, they'll be able to do them. So Incent tokens are going to be the tokens on Waves blockchain, and they will have some features which the Incent team is going to like develop for them. So, but it's on them, it's not on us. We are providing the blockchain. Our goal is to provide stable blockchain and a stable tokens functionality, which no blockchain has at the moment. It's strange, but it's true. To create a token, you need to go through really difficult stuff at the moment to jump through many hoops. Like in Ethereum, it's just very complicated. In NXT, it's also not so easy. So we need to have a platform where you can just click and have your token issued, and you can just use it immediately after you issue it. So we are working on this.
Very, very cool. And he also asked, when do you foresee Waves asset creation features to be ready for testnet tests?
Yeah, so yeah, on Monday, on Monday or two. Okay, we have the code, so we have to release it to testnet. Maybe we'll do some internal testing on Monday, some more internal testing. We'll have like some separate testnet, like internal testnet, and we'll we'll play around with it for a while, and then we can release it to the testnet, to the general testnet. And you can see that the code is already there, so we just have to release it to the testnet. And then, guys, you'll be able to test all the features with assets first through the API, and then we'll be integrating them in the light client, so you'll be able to do it all through the graphical interface, and you'll be able to issue the tokens in a couple clicks, and you'll be able to send them. So there is
Cool.
gonna be some testing for you if you wanna help us out.
Yeah, and we've covered most of these questions already, people. So I'm just pleasing the people who wanted to reiterate their questions on air. We do have a couple more questions. You might find this one funny. Who is Lola
Sure.
Zabota, and where can we get her phone number?
It's Zabota, not Zabota. Zabota is a Russian word, no, but she's not Russian. She's from UK. She's Nigerian, but she wasn't born in Nigeria. She was born in UK, and she's studying in Moscow. She's studying Russian, and I think that she's a great host. So we'll be developing our show, and probably we'll also do some general show about technology with her, and with sponsored by Waves. So she's just a student. She finished her. She graduated from university, I think, and in economics, and he just studied Russian, and he'll be working for us. So I think she's a nice girl with a nice British accent. So everybody likes her, and we're happy to work with her.
I think everybody does like her. I think it's true.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope so because she's nice. She's adorable.
Another question, last one. Once full nodes are out, will you travel to conventions and shows, and show this to
Yeah,
interested
sure.
parties?
Yeah, just don't want to do it yet because we don't have the notes yet. So as soon as we have the notes, of course, I'll be traveling to as many conferences as I can, and I'll be promoting really hard. But I need to have the product to promote. So, and soon we'll be there, and I'll have the product to promote, and I'll be happily promoting as much as I can.
Awesome, awesome. I'm very excited about that. All right, so we've been on for about 40 minutes now. I kind of wanted to make it just a half an hour show update type of thing. Uh, I'm I'm patient, and I'm very happy that with what you're doing. I have no issues with what you're doing. I think you're doing a great job.
Thank you.
I mean,
Thank you.
it. If you compare to all the developers of other coins in the past, I mean, people are lucky that you don't disappear. I mean, back in the day, we had that problem where they would just disappear a week later.
No, how can I disappear? We are completely public, We're just everybody knows where we are, and everybody can visit our office. So I just can't disappear, guys. It's
Right.
like,
So I mean, this is a beautiful thing. He's here. He's always answering questions. He's kind of like JL77 in a where he's always there and he always answers your questions no matter what. And you could always find him in Slack. Right? You're always in Slack.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, sure. I am every day there. So, and you can also visit our office if you come to Moscow. So we are completely open and absolutely transparent. So,
I
guys,
mean,
we're working. Yeah.
the fact is they're working, and this is gonna happen eventually. So
Soon, not
relax.
eventually, but pretty soon, yeah. So the
Yeah,
time will
you
come
know what I mean.
soon.
It's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Why? So those people out there who say, "Oh, I'm selling and I sold," that's unfortunate for you because
They're trolls,
everybody,
guys. Yeah.
people that have been
Who
here a
said
long
this?
time,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
me, know that you got to be patient. You got to be patient. You don't sell when things are low. That's just silly.
Who said that they're selling? People who want to buy cheap, people who just sell because they're don't believe in the project, they do it silently. And people who just shout at every corner that they have just sold all the coins. They just want to buy cheap. So
FUD. It's called
don't.
FUD.
Yeah, it's fun.
Fear,
Yeah, so yeah,
uncertainty, and doubt. They're trying to scare
sure.
other
Yeah,
people to sell.
yeah. Don't fall for this, guys. It's very like primitive trick. Just don't fall for this.
That's what Bitcoin talk is all
Yeah.
about.
Sure,
So
yeah, and people are really effective with this. There are some good
they are.
trolls who can, yeah, make you sell all your coins, and they are buying them cheap. They are just scooping them up happily. So don't fall
Yeah.
for this. Yeah,
There's a lot of the people who made a job out of it at one point. They would just go on there and
absolutely,
talk bad.
yeah.
The more you talk bad, the more somebody else somewhere got depressed, and got got them very upset, and they're like, "Oh, I can't believe they're saying so many negative things," and then the guy goes and sells his coins, because of all the things that they hear. So don't listen to anybody. Got to follow your gut. You see, he's here. He's working. He's doing his thing. It's gonna happen. So, we got a lot of good things coming down the line, right? What other
Yeah,
features do
sure,
you
yes.
see coming out for Waves?
The most important is fiat transfers, fast blockchain-based trading with blockchain settlement and centralized matching. So you'll be able to trade your assets that can be tied to Bitcoin and to other cryptocurrencies. On blockchain, you won't need to send your tokens somewhere. You can always retain control of your funds, but at the same time, you can trade them really fast. So this is a major feature. It's pretty complicated. We have to make sure that there are no attacks on it, but we will be there. And fiat transfer. So we are all about tokens at this stage. So we want to make fiat transfer trading against fiat on blockchain. So you'll be able to run your crowdfunding campaign and collect fiat currency, not only Waves tokens or bitcoins, but also dollars, euros, and other fiat currencies. So I think it's a major feature. And as soon as we have it, we have many startups who want to launch on Waves and to launch their crowdfunding campaigns. So I think we'll have a very different ecosystem when we have all those startups launching their projects. It's going to be an explosion. So as soon as we weed out all the bugs, as soon as we have all the functionality ready, there's going to be a totally different ecosystem, and Waves will become what we wanted it to be. So, and it's going to happen really soon. As I told you guys, we'll be testing the assets on the testnet next week. The code is already there. You can check it. So the time will come, and it will come really soon.
All right, yeah. Well, take your time. Take your time. Don't rush.
Yeah,
I,
yeah,
I, I like
absolutely.
I throw like 30, $50 every week. So take your time.
Cool.
All right.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
All right, guys. So Sasha, I loved having you here once again. It's been a while since we've spoken. I'd like to let some air, get some work done before we
Sure,
speak
yeah.
again. I really appreciate you coming on this morning. A little early for me,
Thank you
but
for
that's all
having
right.
me. Yeah, thank you for your support, for your kind words. I really appreciate your support, and I really appreciate the support from our community. Guys,
Hey,
to make it
you know
work,
what?
we have to work together. Yeah.
I've been here a long time. I'm an old school guy, so
Mhm.
I know how these things work. We've been
Yeah,
watching
thank
this
you.
for
Thank
four or
you for your
5 years now.
patience.
So, though, I mean, I wouldn't worry about anything. You're doing a great job. I think you're doing a great job. You're keeping up communications. That's all you really need to do. And you're getting your work done. Anybody out there that doesn't see that, you could send your tokens to me if you want.
Yeah. Cool. We really
All right,
appreciate
guys.
your words. Thank
All right,
you.
well,
See you guys. Yeah.
in a couple weeks we'll do another update with Sasha, and we'll see how it's going once the nodes are out, and I believe that there's going to be a really big competition eventually between people running full nodes. It's going to be like race car driving. It's going to be crazy. You know, people are going to be advertising and trying to get more people on their full node, and it's going to be It's gonna be something crazy, really.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's gonna happen soon. So ride on waves, and soon we will have everything we promised that we would have. So have a little patience and ride on waves.
There you go. All right, guys. Everybody have a great night. This is Lutz, and enjoy your Sunday. It's a nice day off.
Bye, guys.
Waves Platform is a decentralized platform with loads of real-world solutions running on blockchain. Wavesnode.net is providing a professional node on the Waves platform, hosted in our own data center. If you are holding Waves tokens, you can lend them with the LPOS system to our big node. The leased tokens are always in your account and under your control. It is like leasing staking power. By leasing on our powerful, stable and trustful node, you are generating transfer fees and will be rewarded with Waves. The bigger our node's balance, the higher your rewards. Wavesnode.net can help you achieve increasing your stack and making the Waves platform stronger in just a few easy steps. So please, open your Waves Lite client and lease your tokens at wavesnode.net. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter at wavesnode.net.